Hi students, today we are going to see dynamics of circular motion. In previous to know how to apply Newton's laws to circular motion. Since circular motion is one of the very common types of motion that we come across in our daily life. A particle can be in linear motion with or without any external force. You already know the linear motion is a straight line motion. In straight line motion, some force applied on the body, it will move. It is in smooth surface. It will move continuously. Okay. No force acting on the body, but in the case of circular motion occurs, there must necessarily be some force acting on the object. There is no Newton's first law for circular motion. In other words, without a force, circular motion cannot occur in nature. A force can change the velocity of a particle in three different ways. That is, the magnitude of the velocity can be changed without changing the direction of the velocity. In this case, the particle will move in the same direction but with acceleration. Example for that one is particle falling down vertically and bike moving in a straight road with acceleration. The second one, the direction of motion alone can be changed without changing the magnitude, that is speed. If this happens continuously, then we call it uniform circular motion. Both the direction and magnitude of velocity can be changed. If this happens, non-circular speed does not change. But in the case of non-uniform motion, the direction and magnitude, that means speed of velocity can be changed. For example, oscillations of a swing or a simple pendulum, elliptical motion of planets around the sun. Okay, then next one is the centripetal force. Okay, if a particle moving in a circular motion, there must be centripetal acceleration towards the center of the circle. If there is an acceleration, then there must be some force acting on it with respect to an inertial frame. This force is called centripetal force. It is a 2-mark question and 3-mark question. What is centripetal force? Or obtain centripetal force equation. Okay, that is a 3-mark one. You already know acceleration of a centripetal acceleration of a particle in a circular motions. That is A is equal to V square. The formula for the centripetal acceleration, A equal to V square by R, and it acts towards center of the circle. According to Newton's second law, the centripetal force is given by, centripetal force is given by force, that means Newton's second law, F equal to ma. So, the centripetal force equal to FCP equal to MACP. You write down instead of ACP equal to R cap divided by R into R cap. This minus sign indicates the particle moving towards the circular, towards the center. Okay. So, if it should be noted that centripetal force is not another forces like gravitational force or spring force. It can be said as force towards center. The origin of the centripetal force can be gravitational force, tension force in the string, frictional force, Coulomb force, etc. Okay. So, any of these force can act as a centripetal force. So it provides a centripetal force. The frictional force or Coulomb force, gravitational force, these forces all provide the centripetal force. In case of whirling motion of a stone tied to a string, the centripetal force on the particle is provided by the tensional force on the string. In circular motion, in an amusement park, the centripetal force is provided by the tension in the iron rods, in this case. And this one, whirling motion. Okay. So, in motion of satellites around the Earth, the centripetal force is given by Earth's gravitational force on the satellites. Newton's second law for satellite motion is F equal to Earth's gravitational the distance of the planet from the center of the Earth. Then m is the mass of the satellite, v is the speed of satellite. Then third one is when a car is moving on a circular track in this way. The centripetal force is given by the frictional force between the road and the tires. Okay, between the road and tires gives the centripetal force, that is Fs. Okay. So, frictional force equal to mv square by r, then mass of the car m, v is the speed of the car and r is the radius of the track. Even when the car moves on a curved track, okay, the car experiences the centripetal force which is provided by the frictional force between the surface and the tire of the car. This one, FCP and FCP. Then fourth one is that when the planets orbit around the sun, they experience centripetal force towards the center of the sun. Here, gravitational force of the sun acts as centripetal force on the planets. See that one. The centripetal force is provided by the sun's gravity. So, Newton's second law for this motion, the gravitational force of sun of the planet equal to mv square by r. Okay, do you understand? I hope you understand you. Then next one is a vehicle on a leveled curved road. When a vehicle travels in a curved path, there must be a centripetal force acting on it. This centripetal force is speed v in a circular track of radius r. There are three forces acting on the vehicle, okay, when it moves on the circular road. Gravitational force acting downwards, normal force acting upward, frictional force F is acting horizontally inwards along the road. Okay, this one. This is N upward act, mg act downwards, and this Fs act horizontally. Okay, suppose the road is horizontal, then the normal force and gravitational forces exactly equal and opposites. So the centripetal force is provided by the force of static friction Fs between the tire and surface of the road, which acts towards the center of the circular track. So this frictional force is equal to centripetal force. So mv square by r equal to Fs. Then you already know the static friction can increases from 0 to maximum value. So Fs is less than or equal to mu s mc. So there are two conditions possible. If mv square by r is less than or equal to mu s mg, or mu s is greater than or equal to mv square by rg, or v is equal to v is less than or equal to root of mu s rg. Okay, this is a safe turn. The static friction would be able to provide necessary centripetal force to bend the car on the road. So the coefficient of static friction between the tire and the surface of the road determines what maximum speed the car can have for safe turn. So if mv square by r is greater than this condition, if the static friction is not able to provide enough centripetal force to turn, the vehicle will start to skid.